Good morning, good evening, good night, my little lurkers. You've once again come to the cinema of sin to see the horrible things as they creep and crawl across the night. As usual, it is I, Gruffy, the ringmaster of this carnival of carnage and crap and all sorts of things beginning with C, but I am not alone. With me today to see a film I wish that they hadn't more than likely is my regular cohort for this type of evil. It is...
Hey, it's me, it's Andy, it's Cobra Commander TFW slowly peeling the moist, sticky, smelly skin from his own body to let the fresh air hit it and feel rejuvenated once again. Lurkers in the lobby of the Andy's pants.
I thought you were actually going for more of the Mouth of Madness. You're just peeling yourself open to let the fresh air out. I remember that scene.
That's my AA trip for this year.
And then monsters happened. Oh.
Well, you know, they always say that there are monsters inside of everybody, I suppose.
Yeah, dare I tell you that my favourite sticky thing is glue?
That makes sense. What's your second favourite sticky thing?
Sellotape.
Yay!
Or sticky bag plastic, because sellotape's a brand name.
What about blue tack? Do you consider that sticky enough for you?
No, that's not sticky enough, that's far too solid. It's really good for making little tasses out of them. By that I meant the Tasmanian devil, not...
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant Taz, and like, I was thinking like, are we going to hear that you make little Mrs. Taz's wives as well?
That would just be weird.
It would be.
That would be seriously weird. I
Louis
apologise.
dolls of blue tack.
I apologise for that noise that just happened there. Apparently my alarm just went off and told me it's time to get up. I'm a little confused there.
A couple of hours late.
Yeah, or early.
Yeah.
But there is not just the two of us, Andy.
No.
There is another Andy.
Ah!
Andy. Andy number 2. Or possibly Andy the second.
Andy the sequel. Or perhaps Andy the ancestor of something out of Charles Dexter Ward.
That's sweet, no fun.
I like to think that eventually you're going to open up a cupboard and there's just going to be this white ape in there staring at you. So, hello.
Greetings.
Good morning, sir, and how are you? Good.
Sweating like a popular now dead singer on a school bus.
It's warm. It is warm.
Oh god, yeah.
We're just not meant to cope. I'm Scottish, for fuck's sake. It's the sun. The bright yellow thing in the sky is not meant to come out this often under this log.
We're all northern lads here, and none of us appreciate the sunlight for what it is.
I have appreciated it. I've been out in it.
Oh god, you madman.
So have I. That's why I don't want to be out in it anymore.
I was out in it for a large part of the day, and oh god, it hurts. The pain. But anyhow, we're here to talk about films, not about the sun. That would be a really dumb podcast.
Oh, that sounds like an awesome podcast.
Challenge accepted. We're here to talk about the Dunwich Horror. Now, some of you might be thinking, ooh, you're going to do the 1970 Dunwich Horror? That was an alright film. No. As people may know, over the time, and over the short break that we've had, there has been a sword hanging over Andy's head. There has been a sword sitting there, ready to drop. Now, we recorded a show on Necronomicon, the collection of short stories, which at some point I would like to get back to, because unfortunately it has been lost to the mists of time. Technical issues decided to eat it, and we weren't allowed to use it. At the end of that, I decided to get a certain person in this podcast to pick me a number, and that number was going to be the next film that we did. And it's a real shame that we couldn't put that podcast out, because Andy's howls of torment have echoed for quite some time. And yeah, enough time's passed now, and I think it's time that we go on with this, and we showed off the pain. The glorious, glorious pain. For we are doing the 2009 TV movie of the Dunwich Horror. I don't even know how to begin to introducing this movie.
It makes these silent movies look professionally done.
It's got Dean Stockwell in it. Dean Stockwell.
Ow, from Quantum Leap.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
I know. Dean Stockwell. And you know, Dean Stockwell, he was in Quantum Leap and
Battlestar Galactica, the remake.
Stephen King's The Langoliers.
Oh god.
He's been in other things as well.
Varying quality, I'm sure.
He was a child actor, which is something I didn't know until recently. Dean Stockwell was originally a child actor.
No, went on to have a career.
So, yeah, there isn't much we could say to introduce this film. It was made in 2009. It was directed by Leigh Scott, based on the Dunwich Horror by H.P. Lovecraft. Screenplay by Leigh Scott. Stars Griff First, Sarah Living, Dean Stockwell, and a few other people, including one famous face we might talk about when he happens.
I think you should apologise to us.
Yes, yeah, I really do as well.
I always said that these will not always be good films. And there's been a run of pretty good films. So
those years have come crashing to an end.
There's good films yet to come. And some Ghostbusters episodes.
So basically this is the absolute valley in the...
I can't imagine it get any worse than this. God help us if it does.
There's House of Cthulhu. Or Cthulhu Mansion, depending on where
I
across the world you are.
That yet, so it's.
I don't even want to do that to you.
It's an unknown entity.
I could not physically do it to anybody.
Would that mean, like, if we tried to watch it, we'd faint because our minds could not cope and comprehend the sheer enormity of the horror?
You know something? Yes, that's exactly what would happen. The horror that is Cthulhu Mansion is, it's terrible, and I wouldn't do it to you. But anyhow, that's enough of that. Shall we get started on the film? Yeah. And I will ask you in turn. I know what the answers are going to be. As we missed out the episode, Mr. Turnbull.
Yeah.
I don't think we've actually discussed this. What is your first memories of H.P. Lovecraft?
Well, not directly through Lovecraft. It's kind of, I'd say the first sort of awareness I had of sort of the Lovecraftian style was actually through Grant Morrison's Zenith, where he had the Loigor, the great old ones, basically being the inhabitants of the superhuman bodies in the series. Mm-hmm. I've recently dropped £100 on that hardcover, by the way.
Oh! You actually went for it.
It's never going to get done again, I don't think. This is going to be one and done, and I've always loved it. So it's kind of, through there was my initial experience of Lovecraft, and a lot more through comics than anything else, and then just sort of gradually became aware of it, then watching Reanimator with someone who has to apologise to us later on. No, in a much better role. And just now, I picked up, didn't actually read a lot of his stories until last couple of years, where I picked up the rather big, massive hardcover book that's got basically all the stories in it. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy his work, but it's kind of a dip in and dip out. It's not one of these books you could sit. Now, I'm quite good for reading cover to cover and just ploughing through a book.
Yeah.
But it's very evocative. But because the style is built around a particular framework and a way of delivering the story, reading too many of them, you dip. It becomes, I don't want to say samey, but the tics that he has in terms of how he writes the story take out the story too much. You have to stop.
Yeah, completely. When you have a large collection of Lovecraft stories, I've always found that you cannot read the entire collection. It's a very bad idea. I remember way back in the day when I was in college, I had the 3 omnibuses that collected the majority of what he'd written. And I remember getting through the first one in about 3-4 months, just for one reason or another. Going through the second one in about a week, and then the third one just like goes looking at it and going, "I've started you multiple times." But just at that point, as you say, the way he writes, after a while, you can get a little bit samey, a little bit. It robs the teeth, is the best way I can put it. It takes away a lot of the elements that cause the evocativeness and the atmosphere, because you're thinking, all right, we're back to this again. Especially when he starts talking about certain nautical people, which always takes me out of the books and the stories. But then again, saying that, I can read Mountains of Madness again and again and again and again.
What is it then about Mountains of Madness that kind of breaks the rule for you?
I think it's because it's got a much larger scope to it. It's not small town in Massachusetts. It's not...
Thank God.
It's not, there's something in the walls, gah! Or, I found my uncle's mad books, bah! It's a lot bigger and a lot larger. the elements that have been put together in that one is of a much bigger world than the one he'd talked about earlier.
I agree also with the fact it takes, the setup isn't immediately obvious.
Yeah.
Which in some of the shorter tales, it smacks you in the face very, very quickly. And you know where the end point is coming, you're just going along for the journey. He couldn't do that and it'll work in that length because it just would be absolutely unreadable.
Well, exactly it. The reason that a lot of his short stories are like that is because of the length and what he was writing for.
Yeah.
You remember, he was never writing these books to be put together as one, he's never writing these stories, to be put together as one gigantic book for people to read. He was putting them together for them to be in Weird Tales and other such magazines. So as a result, they are very pulpish at times, and they are very short stories. It has to stick to the elements that, well, not the elements, it has to stick to the length and kind of the themes of that issue of that magazine. Yeah, so that's how you got into it. So this film, what were your thoughts on it the first time you saw it? We'll start with you, Mr. Millman.
Oh God, yeah. I've told quite a few people about this. I watched this because you, Adam, had told me, we'll probably be doing this, so you probably should know what we're talking about. So I had to watch it, and I remember I don't usually do this. I usually sit and watch it on my computer, but I was like, I'll watch it on the TV. I'll put it on the PS3. I'll take an extra bit of time and, and get comfy and watch it. By the end of the movie, I was sat on the floor, pillow behind my head, with a really astounding headache, which I've never had from a movie before, saying that was potentially the most awful movie I've seen in a long, long time, if ever. It was really, really bad. I couldn't find anything redeeming about it. It annoyed me most of all on an editing level.
Okay. In what way?
Oh, the editing was just so irritating. And the story, I had no idea what was going in the story half the time. I said to Mr. Turnbull on Twitter, he was like, at one point, he was like, man, this is boring. And I said, wait until you get up to the boat, and then you'll truly not know what's going on. And then I got a response from Mr. Turnbull saying something like, fuck you. It's like, I told you.
Oh, God. So, Mr. Turnbull, what were your feelings on this film? The first time you watched it?
Well, I happened to have this in readiness, and it was kind of, I'm at the moment quite busy getting stuff ready for auto assembly and the like, so free time's a little bit limited in terms of what I have. So Friday night, the wee small hours, thought, right, I can't just go into this cold, I need to actually watch this. So I had a pint of cherry coke with me, and I just thought, I'll stick it on the iMac and just lay in my bed and watched it. And it was just, looked so cheap, which again is not necessarily a bad thing, but it was when got to the early scene straight out of The Exorcist, which we'll get to, and it was just like, oh my God, these people are sleepwalking through this film. And then we had the horrible special effects. Oh God, I say special. It's in the most pejorative of ways that people say the word special, which we shouldn't ever do, but occasionally do. And it just got worse and worse, and just dragged. And then I saw, it's like, Dean Stockwell, you're not caring. And then I saw a certain someone, and then initially twig it was him, and then I was like, bloody well it is. And I just got more disappointed. And it dragged on, and it ended.
Thankfully it ended?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think if it is actually the worst film I've seen, because it didn't make me angry, it just bored me at times. There's only a couple of bits that I really got wound up. Mm-hmm. I mean, it didn't provoke me to the rage of, say, Top Cat.
Oh God, you watched that movie?
I paid money to see that at a cinema in Ireland.
Jesus. Oh, God.
That's still the benchmark of bad films.
I'm not surprised, yeah.
I feel that we should give you a medal of some description.
No, this was a coffin he made for himself. He paid to see it. He chose to go and see it.
Were you with Ralph by any chance?
Yes. Of course you were.
Rolf, who earlier today on Twitter has become a very happy man due to a little present I've made him.
Yes.
Right then, should we just dive into this thing then, get it going?
Aye.
Don't forget, when it comes to these films, we don't have to just talk about the film itself, just see where the discussion takes us.
Oh, thank God. Please, find a happy place.
So, in 3, 2, 1, play.
I look forward to us becoming out of sync at some point.
Probably, but that's fine.
The nature of the world.
Whoa, look at that very cheap company logo. Get in.
It's already a good start.
Now, I can't help but think of the old early 80s Swamp Thing when this film started. Now, I've never been to Massachusetts. Never in my life. Doesn't this look like Massachusetts to anyone?
It doesn't feel like something the Bee Gees would sing about. Oh, yeah, get that reference, folks.
Bloody hell.
Look at that
skewer.
Look at those lightning effects where they flicker a light on and off really quickly. That's impressive.
I'm sure Critters and films like that used that kind of effect. Are you not? Oh my God, that wig.
That was an amazing
that's the
wig.
first thing that angered me. Is like, that's awful.
Yeah.
I've seen some terrible wigs over the years, but that one is truly despicable.
This room is creepy. Why? Because we have naked dolls in that are dirty.
So I'll ask this question now then. Has anyone actually read the Dunwich Horror?
Yes.
Right. What are your feelings on the actual story itself, Mr. Turnbull?
I enjoyed bits of it, but as a story, I just think it's overly complicated for what it is.
Yes, that's very true.
It's the kind of thing. It's like, okay, that's good HP. Now go and do another draft of it, and take out the needlessly complicated plot for Yogg Sothoth.
Now, what were they called? The Dark Adventure Radio Theatre, the HB, Lovecraft Historical Society.
Yeah.
They've done a adaptation of the Dunwich Horror, and it's very, very good. They've managed to, not simplify it, but they've managed to get it to work a little bit better.
I really must buy some of them. I bought their film of The Call of Cthulhu.
Yes.
And it's brilliant.
It is absolutely superb.
Sorry, is this the audiobook, did you say?
No, they've done audio plays and everything, but they're the guys that did the Call of Cthulhu movie.
Oh, yeah.
That we started all this off with. And
it's pretty much like the only comparable things like Big Finish with the Doctor Who audio plays. This kind of thing is they do. It's rather being read by a book, it's a full cast production. I keep meaning to pick some stuff up. Maybe it won't be until long after Auto Assembly because that's where all my money's going. Short week, so.
God, look at this editing. Jesus.
Now, I like the idea that she's meant to be a deformed albino.
Does that just get you going?
Hang on, new image. Oh my God, I've never made this connection before. New image with the company that made, Serial Clown.
Serial Clown?
Never
heard of a serious clown.
It's basically Spawn, if Spawn was a clown.
What?
Yes?
Look, which is the darkest evil, or as we like to call it, the Dunwich Horror, you lying bastards. Look, there's the name of the disappointing man.
I when I first watched this, I felt some hope when I saw that name. I was like, oh, Jeffrey's in this. Oh, okay.
That's what I thought. I was like, should be alright.
Yeah.
At least when he's on screen, I'll be enjoying it. They're all...
Yes. Oh, how wrong I was. You know, everyone has their off days, even the man I love.
It's just such a... This reminds me of the credit sequence is showing how cheap it is.
Yep.
Look at how busy we are. It's like, no, just... It reminds me of a really bad Doctor Who fan film that Ralph and I watched a wee while ago for the Stardust podcast. It had a similar kind of thing in terms of the way it was laid out. Like, this is balls. I do like Ken Biddish though, because I just imagine directed and escaped from the diseased minder.
I do think it does look like it was made in the mid-2000s. it has that look, and a lot of films in the mid-2000s did this, especially horror films. They just threw all of this shit into the intro sequence that didn't need to be there at all.
Is this 25 frames per second as well? Because it looks a bit smoother than most things should do.
I am unsure. Let's have a quick look at the IMDb. Only has one bit of trivia. Dean Stockwell, who plays Dr. Armitage in this film, played the role of Wilbur Whateley in the 70s version.
Fantastic.
And the Wikipedia page has nothing. The Wikipedia page has absolutely nothing on this film.
I actually want to see a movie based on these two priests. Just going around the country saying, I can't do shit, man. It's all fucked up and shit.
I do like the fact that the older Dean Stockwell gets, the more he just looks like somebody's uncle.
What kind of uncle, though?
Just an uncle. Just an average everyday uncle. There's nothing creepy about him or anything. Now, this woman here is fucking creepy. I want you to count the amount of times she blinks.
The blonde-haired lady. Or the
No,
one?
the black-haired lady.
I do like how the blonde lady's husband is quite obviously a slightly young Louis Gossett Jr. It's like they took him back in time after making Iron Eagle and go, come here, son, we've got a job for you.
It's like Louis Gossett Jr., but they've ironed his face to get the creases out.
And he's been on a bit of a starvation diet. He's a big man these days.
You know what it is? They've done the X-Men 3.
Yeah.
Young Patrick Stewart effect.
Oh, man. Man, look at the carpet. That's pretty awesome. That's old school carpet right there.
You're saying about the editing. I honestly don't think the editing is the worst thing about this film.
It annoyed me. It gets worse as we go along.
It's actually the camera work is probably the worst because it's all, let's try and do off-kilter angles. It's like you keep doing them all the time so they're not off-kilter. It just looks like the normal way you're doing it, which means that you're a shit fucking DP.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's freehand as well.
Yes,
to kind of give it that real feel that some movies decide to go for, but sometimes it just feels cheap.
So we're into The Exorcist now.
Yeah, but that sucks cocks in hell.
She's just lost her balls.
Oh.
Get it?
Now, my entire response here is, really?
Mine was, why and what the fuck?
It's the...
And the Evil Dead eye makeup.
Yep.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And she's watched Evil Dead. The actress is obviously watching this. She said, do this like an Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I do
stab her with a pencil in the ankle.
I thought you were going to say stab her with the pencil in the eye.
Okay.
Now, why an ankh?
Why not? Huh? Why not?
Anybody? It's like they just went, well, crucifixes work against the devil, so an ankh would work against the old ones?
Duh, obviously.
Okay, and here comes the Le Marchand configuration box. It's been fucked. Possibly some kind of Korean bootleg.
Oh, I love the idea that it's a Korean bootleg.
Pyramid, you opened it. We came. We looked round and thought, this film's AIDS. I'm off.
You want my toast.
Oh,
my
God.
pleasure toast.
Well, the pinhead that would appear here would be the shit one from the remake that Dimension did to keep the rights.
Oh, you mean the one that isn't actually a Hellraiser movie? It's a cop story where Pinhead turns up at the end.
That sounds bizarre.
No, it's the one that was made over a weekend to keep the rights. It's basically a remake of the first film, but more disgusting. No art to it, no soul, and it's just shit. I don't know what Copman one. It was a remake. It was the one that they did to hold on to the rights.
Mm-hmm.
So when Clive Barker said, that's nothing to do with mine, that wouldn't have come out of my ass.
Good God. Now, do you get the film that...
Here's the bad fight scene, here's the really bad edit.
Yeah, this is one of the points. Here, this is how we make a scene look frantic. We put the camera in really close, and we make it shaky, and we cut really quickly.
It was also when they were fighting, and you could see that the blows weren't even coming close to connect. And it's obviously, and yep, those must have been the best shots they had. So
yeah.
How bad is this?
Do you get the feeling this got made because Constantine was out? It's like 2009, would be about right, wouldn't it?
I'm not. Yeah, could be. I'm just trying to think.
I can't remember when Constantine actually came out.
Escaped.
I never watched Constantine.
Me neither. Keanu Reeves in it.
I will give it its due. It's better than I imagined it was going to be.
There's a little penis drawn on the board.
True, and look at that. It's young Russell Crowe. He is Russell Crowe's younger, smarter brother.
Wait a second. We've got Dean Stockwell. We've got guys who were young and before they were famous. You know what's going on, don't you?
Oh.
Sam's jumping through time, making wrong what once was right. He's going to get all these guys into the right positions where they have to be in life so they can be famous actors in later life. That's what's actually going on. That's the story of this movie. Also, I love the idea that they're teaching elder gods at school.
Is this university or is it just like high school? I can't remember.
I think it's meant to be a college of some description, isn't it?
It's a college, I think, because he's a professor. So you've really got Professor slumming at the school.
I can't think.
Look at him. He's just like a slightly younger Russell Crowe.
I can't look at him now without thinking, I'm Russell Crowe and I like to fight.
Fighting around the whale. Ikafu.
Gonna punch it right out of him.
Gonna punch that Cthulhu right in the tentacles.
Is this really enthusiastic? I think the offspin of this movie would be the kid who is actually a cultist trying to summon the elder gods.
And again, is there any reason why the angle for the camera is slightly off here for the shot?
Because Dutch angles are awesome.
When they're used properly.
What, like in Battlefield Earth? Yeah!
Jeez.
Get to fuck. I'll take any insult that you throw at me. I will take any name that you want to throw at me. I will have you impugning my name, but I will not have you mentioning that god-awful piece of shite.
I remember when me and my mum got that old Blockbuster because we were like, this might be interesting and there's no else to watch tonight. And whoo, that was a bad night.
Oh, Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth. They won our gold, Gruff. Our gold.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a movie you should do a commentary on as well.
No, because there would be no entertainment factor apart from me losing the plot. Oh wait, which is why I wanted you to do this with shit.
Yeah.
But look, it's mid to late, early. Well, it left there. Start those words again. It's mid to late. I can't fucking talk.
I'm sorry, I just keep looking at this scene going, get a fucking Steadicam on a dolly rig, you ball-back director.
It's too much money, man. You know, just slim it.
Okay, and here we get to the...
Legs. We get to legs.
Stupid people.
We get the boobs.
Probably the best bit of the movie.
It's just a pair of boobs. Oh, yes.
Yep. Not trying to be sexist, but, you know, when you compare what the rest of this movie is, you'll understand.
I gotta admit, though, that guy's got some awesome sideys.
Yeah. They are fine.
Because he loves the Fonz, man. Based his life off of it. That's why he's got the girl. I've always... It reminds me of someone as well, but I don't know who.
I have come to the conclusion that you don't get enough films about cultists.
Just in general.
Well, how many films, outside of, like, you know, the obvious one, Rosemary's Baby and that type of thing, how many films will you actually get a proper cult going on? And cultists are scary. Cultists can be...
The Last Exorcist was okay for that, I would say.
Yeah, I've not seen that one.
I like The Last Exorcism. Exorcism. Either way, I can't remember.
That's The Last Exorcism, not The Last Exorcism of Emily Rose.
No, not that one.
Right.
There he is. Jeffrey Combs.
Bite your bottom lip, Jeffrey. Or bite your upper lip. My bad.
I got lots of money.
Oh.
Suspicious bottle.
Suspicious brown bottle.
Chloroform. Always a classic.
Is it chloroform? Or is it just really stale urine?
don't really think really stale urine has a sedating effect on people.
As
At least not
Not my show notes. You don't know how stale it is.
earlier today, I listened to your Master Prime Theatre, and that's twice today I've heard you mention urine in some way, shape, or form.
You're welcome.
You got some kind of fetish.
Yeah, man. I bring class to every podcast I'm on. And to be fair, Amy and Nicole went crazy with that.
They went crazy with the urine.
They did. It's disturbing.
In all fairness, why would she go, looking at the state of that place, why would she even contemplate going into the shitter?
I'd prefer
know that.
I push, right?
I know. Oh, chloroform, there we go.
Got those sideburns. Holy
So beautiful.
All he needs to do is wait, grow them a little bit further down to get mutton chops, and he'll truly be a manly man.
Yeah, he's seen Kurt Russell's take on Elvis and thought, yes.
Fairly sure it's far too warm to wander around that level of black.
It's true.
I'm always reminded of Halloween H2O whenever I see a bathroom in a horror film.
Oh, good man. It's a good movie. Actually, no, Halloween Resurrection is the best Halloween movie.
I can't remember which one Resurrection is.
That's the one that's in like a reality TV show.
That's one where Buster Rhymes Kung Fu kicks Michael Myers.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's amazing.
It technically is true in the exact sense of the word amazing. It doesn't mean good.
No.
I was amazed when I saw Buster Rhymes Kung Fu kick Michael Myers.
He says something motherfucker, if I remember it.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
That's it.
And he said, and it was only the second worst thing to happen to the Michael Myers character. The worst, of course, being Rob Zombie.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that.
I haven't seen that.
I wouldn't bother.
No.
Okay.
You have, in the first one, Malcolm McDowell saves it by being brilliant. In the second one, even he can't save it.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh. It comes to something when you can actually make a Halloween film that's worse than Season of the Witch.
Oh, I remember I watched that, and that was...
It was interesting.
That's a word for it.
So that actually brings up an interesting... Sorry. She still just doesn't fucking blink. She freaks me out. She's like the octopus woman in Dagon.
I've been waiting for you, Gruff.
Oh, no, not again.
You know you would.
Why are you in my fish tank? Get out. You watery bint.
That would be an interesting take on the... What's that show called? Tanks?
Tanked.
Yeah, Tanked.
We're gonna
Make a tank for a Cthulian lady.
We're gonna put a mutant in your tank. Yay! Now that's more Fish Tank Kings, I think, that type of ridiculous.
Not Deadliest Catch.
No, well, maybe Deadliest Catch.
That would be so good. Halloween issue where they try and capture Cthulhu. Or Dagon.
Oh, yeah, they're trying to capture a Cthulhu.
Yeah, oh yeah.
No, I was going to ask that. Franchise horror films. There's plenty of them. God. Look, now we get seen down.
Oh, Christ.
I shall let this scene play out and then I'll return to my question. Because...
I think she is actually the worst example of acting in this film.
Now, are we being too hard on this film? Because it is a TV movie.
Yes, it's a TV movie, but are we being too hard? No, because there can be good TV movies.
Yep.
And might not have the budget, but the thing is, yeah, the director can't direct for shit, but that doesn't mean that the actors have to all be shit. I mean, she's awful.
Oh yeah, she's really bad.
Very much so. But then again, saying that, this film had twice the budget of Dreams in the Witch House, which was done as part of the Masters of Horror. I'm sorry, my washing machine appears to have just turned itself on. That's really freaking weird. This has half the budget. This had twice the budget of Dreams of the Witch House, which was done as part of the Masters of Horror series of films. Now, Dreams of the Witch House, I think, is spot on perfect. It couldn't be done any better. This kind of doesn't do anything with the... I've just seen the tentacles and I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Yeah, the close-up shots of the model aren't too bad. The shots of it rubbing her face are a little odd.
Do you get the film that somebody who'd just been to Japan came back and went, I want to make a film with tentacles?
Yeah, because the whole point is it's consuming it. So why the fuck is it going to be going, oh, let me tendery stroke? It's like, give me that shit. I need to grow bigger.
I need food. And there you just during that sequence there, you had the thing that we were talking about before, the truly awful way that they're editing it by having the light flash.
Yeah.
Fade to black. Then it comes.
Oh, it does that so much. So much in this movie.
None of these are bad ideas for how to do things, but they don't know how to use them is the problem. No. They're not effective in the slightest.
It does show an interesting level of incompetence.
Mm-hmm.
Especially to use the same trick again and again and again, and it missed the point every single time.
Yeah. But the interesting question I have to now ask is, so which is worse? Which film is worse? This or Twilight? Which film was made with more ineptitude?
I'd say this is worse because at least Twilight you can glean some kind of sinful pleasure from watching how awful it is. This has almost no joy to it.
I'm intrigued to hear people actually championing Twilight.
Oh, I wouldn't champion Twilight, but I've heard enough people do riffs and stuff on it to find some kind of enjoyment from watching people mock it. Would you agree there, Timble? Or?
Yeah, I mean, having seen Twilight, it's plodding and dull. But occasionally there's a couple of moments that its biggest problem is Kristen Stewart. She can't act for shit.
Oh, God. Yeah.
She's dreadful in it, but there's a couple of decent moments in it, and you can't help but laugh when whenever they're inside, it's still dark as fuck, despite it, being inside the school.
Yeah.
It does have a lighting director on it, which this thing doesn't, because if you look at it, it's lit like 70s television.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like, oh, bright light, then we're horribly dark and dingy. It's like, no.
Yeah, there's no subtlety to how it's been put together.
Yep. And again, the wandering around with the camera, if boiling my piss something here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there's no framing either, especially in this shot where it's just like half of the heads are in the frame and half of them are out. This wobbling still.
But it's what I was going to mention earlier on, the sequence where you mentioned the rug. The fact that the entire frame is just filled. There's just stuff everywhere. It leads the eye all over the place, and you don't have a clue what's actually being said.
Yeah.
You're saying that you got bored by the film, and I don't think it's the acting is at fault. But the major problem is the way that it's been filmed makes your attention wander. You start paying attention to things that you don't really need to be paying attention to. It's like, for example, that sequence there when they were talking, the two talking heads, I was looking at the picture. Because that's dead spike in the middle of the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just Jeffrey there going for his lunch break. They just kept filming him.
So yeah, I was going to ask you about franchise movies, franchise horror films, the Hellraisers, the Nightmare on Elm Streets, all of those ones. Which would you say is your preferred? Mr. Turnbull.
Just because of when I saw it, at the age I caught it, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
And also because Friday the 13th was awful from the start. None of them are good, despite what anyone might even try and tell you. They're all bad films. Hellraiser, the problem is, because the first one was so spectacular,
yeah,
it fell so far.
Yeah.
Success was still. Nightmare on Elm Street had a really good first one, a bizarre second one, decent third one, and then gradually became cack.
I would say it kind of clawed something back with New Nightmare.
I would, but we're in the minority. Most people hate it.
Well, that's because they're wrong.
It's true, they are.
Because I've got a lot of time and a lot of patience for New Nightmare. I think it was a little heavy-handed at times.
Yeah.
But as an idea, I think it was absolutely incredible. It went a long way to giving Freddy Krueger his fangs back. Because at that point, Freddy Krueger was defanged completely. They'd given him his origins. They'd given him all these jokes and everything. And he wasn't the monster that he was in the first film.
Yeah. And and here we go, the bits to kind of show that they're not quite human, where they just kind of distort their faces. When Bulber's talking to his dad.
Yeah.
Not needed.
No, but then a lot can be said about that.
And young Russell Crowe's talking to basically the either bearded Jon Stewart's alcoholic brother from the Daily Show, or a slightly skeevy version of Donald Logue, with a little bit less around the waistline, so perhaps during the malnutrition years. It's just...
I'm reminded of something I was watching it this time round. Do you remember Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows?
Never seen it, but I'm
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I might be on my own with this one. This feels like Blair Witch 2.
In a good way?
No. The first Blair Witch was less of a film and more of something that you experienced, and it worked the first time you saw it.
Yeah, it was an experiment in filmmaking.
No, it wasn't.
Well, it was different. You hadn't really seen a lot of stuff like that before, and it certainly wasn't as successful until Blair Witch did it.
No, it had been done before. I hated the Blair Witch Project. It was utter... It had...
Oh, I was your fan, don't get me wrong.
Oh, boy, I watched the cinema and it was just... I'm sorry, there's too much stupidity in here to make this film arrive at the right point. Yeah, you don't know where you're going, so you're going to chuck your map away because you're having an argument. No, you don't.
Yeah, you do. I do that all the time. That's why I'm actually a ghost, talking from the forest. Come on, Andy. Play ball.
No, I'm doesn't play ball.
Please, Andy. Play ball with Andy.
No.
I'll rephrase it to a successful movie then. Because the first Blair Witch Project was a very successful movie. It was a runaway hit, and to this day has spawned so many films just trying to get that level of money in.
I do think it's time that the found footage genre fucks off for about 10, 15 years until someone does something new with it.
I agree. Totally agree. There are elements to the found film footage idea which I think worked. There was, what was it called? There was one set in an asylum that was pretended to be one of those old Ghostwatch programs.
Hang on, is this Grave Encounters?
Yes.
That was awful. What the fuck are you talking about?
I loved that film.
Me and my friend Matt were taking the piss out of it through the entire movie. We were suggesting that the guy have sex with a lady as a way to stave off the ghosts.
Wow.
Yep, because it was the only enjoyment we could glean from it.
Are you telling me that you didn't enjoy just watching the ineptitude of, I'm going to just go into this dark, dark tunnel and start walking?
It's so dumb. Why is that animal he's cutting open as well, just out of interest?
I thought I've no idea, because it just really looked like a wig full of meat. It didn't look like any kind of animal I've ever fucking seen before.
Agreed, yeah.
That's a very unhealthy looking dude there. He does look like he's got a problem. Young Russell Crowe is quite well tanned, looking good, and his mate looks like he's never seen outdoors.
I can relate to him.
Just because the guy's got agoraphobia doesn't mean you have to have a go at him.
Doesn't have agoraphobia, he's outside. I'll have a go at anybody I want. Look at the state of him. It's like, have they used all the makeup budget on everyone else? It's like, you're here filming for the day. No makeup for you.
I do like the fact that he just seems to be there to put things in and out of his briefcase.
And also give huge chunks of exposition.
Yeah, this was where I started losing what was actually happening in the movie from the frequent cuts back and forth between this scene and the Jeffrey Combs and his talk with his dad scene. I was just like, I'm so quickly losing what's happening.
Well, should I go through the synopsis of the story?
It's up to you, bro.
Well, just to make it easier on myself, I'm just going to read it directly from IMDb. Okay? So, in Louisiana, the 35-year-old single mother Lavina delivers a baby boy in a monster in the evil Whately house. 10 years later, Dr. Henry Armitage and his assistant Professor Fay Morgan discover that page 751 of every copy of the Necronomicon is missing, and the Black Brotherhood has summoned the gatekeeper, Yog-Sothoth, to leave the portal open to the demons and ancient gods. They invite the arrogant and skeptical Professor Walter Rice to translate the Necronomicon to help them seek the book. Meanwhile, Lavina Elena's son, Wilbur Whately, ages very fast and seeks the missing page to open the portal.
Yeah, that's pretty much the movie.
Yep.
Oh, he's another wig and amazing makeup application. It's like what my mum would do to me for a Halloween Eve.
It just looks like Romero's Day of Dawn of the Dead, the Tom Savini's grey pancake makeup.
Yep.
Yes, yeah, I could see that.
That's like Elvis just double tapper.
I forgot how awesome the sequence is because it's so crap.
Also, look at how he's holding that shotgun.
He's going to knock himself out.
I know that. You're just going to batter your shoulder back, mate.
Oh, here he comes. Oh, he spits in his face.
Why have you got the shotgun near your neck?
What did he spit in his face anyway?
Water, acid.
I like, no, I want to, it better be water. So it's like, water.
He just eats pepper spray.
He just eats entire, huge peppers before every meal. His diet consists of red, green, and yellow peppers. This'll make you big and strong, Jeffrey. What's for dinner, Mum? More peppers. I'm crazy.
Look, she still isn't blinking. Oh, we've had the first blink. She's getting them all in. She's getting them all in. She's getting them all in.
She's the love interest because they've been going out before, but they broke up.
That's because he's the rookie and he's only got 3 days to retirement and other cliches.
He's too old to do his shit.
The best cliche.
Oh. Speaking of too old for the shit, the Dean Stockwell.
I do feel sorry for Dean. He just doesn't...
Thing is, he looks like he's sleepwalking it through it all. The thing is, no matter what the scene is, there's no change to his delivery of his lines.
No. Did you get the feeling that he just had to make a mortgage payment that month?
Yeah.
Pay off for the stripper joints.
No, and Dean, oof. Stockwell does love his strippers.
Does he?
I don't know. I'm just making that up. I know nothing of Dean Stockwell's private life.
Don't you?
And so I must make it up as I go along. Because I love Dean Stockwell. Purely because he was Al in Quantum Leap.
Good enough reason.
And as he gets older, his eyebrows just become incredible.
Now this is an interesting conversation right here in the car.
And
what can you say about it? Seriously.
Well,
in all fairness, one of the big problems I have is it's so unnatural. He obviously can't move his hands because he's driving, so he'll be concentrating. But she's having an animated conversation. Look at her arms. They're not moving.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone just gestures wildly, but if you're getting slightly hit up, you are going to move about. But she literally just a couple of head moves and she'll move to the side then look back. Fuck's sake. Body language, how?
These people are paid actors. Right? These people got paid for the job that they did. Right?
Why? Why did they get paid?
What I find really strange is the fact that they are, for the most part, terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, when we did both Call of Cthulhu and we did the other one that the Historical Society did.
Whispers in the Darkness.
Yeah. The guys that were in that were all guys who just, they were local play actors and whatnot. And they blow everybody in this out of the water, including Coots.
I can tell you why, because they gave a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much so.
That's the biggest reason, because they cared and they wanted to make a good media experience for people,
mm-hmm.
and not just pump out some shit.
Yeah.
Which obviously the people here did, whether they wanted to or not, I can't speak for that because I don't know them, but that's what they've put out. They put out shit.
Yeah.
I was going to try and be fair on the film, but I do have to admit, I fucking hate that effect. That effect.
Yeah. What is the whole point is, if you're trying to convey that something's not right, it's a case of, it needs to be something better than that, and it also needs to be something a little bit more subtle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The whole point is Lovecraft's all about the other.
Yes.
It's so unnatural. So, look at a slight distortion. Wow.
Well,
It's just not really doing it.
to go back to Whispers in the Darkness, there is the entire sequence in the car ride from the train station.
Oh, that's uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. There is nothing in frame
Yeah.
that is off-putting. But the sequence makes you feel uneasy.
Yep.
Just because it isn't right. There's something not quite gelling in there. What you've got here is some film students who've just gone, I've just learned a new effect on, I don't know, Photoshop. Can I use it? Can I use it in the film?
After Effects, I think.
It wouldn't be after.
Premiere reason, sorry, Premiere.
No, I think you're thinking Windows Movie Maker for that kind of history, but that's the word, Come on.
Which I discovered earlier today. You can't get to work on Windows 7.
Well, Windows Movie Maker. Really?
It just refuses point blank to work.
Impressive.
Yes, well done, Windows. Now,
Hello there, Sinister Native Guide.
we're looking for a room and possibly a crucifix. Can you help us? Rumba rooms.
Ah, Big Willie. We see you finally got a job somewhere. Hello, Mr. Policeman.
I tell you who he is, Babylon.
Oh, look, they're giving him an act for some reason. Like, here's this trinket.
Do you think the local kids have ever just put like a lump of dog shit in his hand?
Fucking hope so. You got me shit.
It's mean, but I don't know. I like the idea of some kids just being mean to this old guy.
And also, there's nothing worse than watching someone who has sight trying to do blind acting.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
See no evil, hear no evil.
Oh, that's entertaining though, because that's got the prior and the wild in it. That's great joy. This brings nothing but despair and the sheer hope that it will end soon.
I'm afraid not. We're only about halfway through.
Damn.
So when the Millman said it was about the boat, it's like, when's this boat thing happening? It was another 20 minutes after I tweeted him. For fuck's sake. No, there's only one way I'm going to get any joy out of this film.
Mm-hmm.
To make Ralph watch it.
Well, if you have to suffer,
Yep.
Therefore Ralph must suffer. It's only logical.
It's true.
I'm assuming you're not going to be in the same room as him as he does.
Oh, I will. I'll just get blind, stinking drunk. And plus, what I can do is while the film's on, I just can watch his reaction.
I like your thinking there. That's really good thinking.
Got to do that a couple of times, such as making people watch Catwoman.
Oh, that's a special movie as well.
Yeah. And, or Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li.
Oh, God.
A film that I've not actually managed to get through.
What the fuck is up with that cave scene? Where the fuck did that come from? Well, till then, it's a normal kind of shitty action film. I was thinking, and here's how I've got my power to be as ruthless as I can: is I ripped the child from my wife's womb. Yep, it harbours all my soul.
Gee, Mr. Wallace likes that movie, You need to have a talk with him about that.
It's true. It's like, I liked Chris Klein in it from American Pie as Shit Cop. And I liked his story. The Adventures of Shit Cop would have been an amazing film. But fucking Kristen Crook, he's shite.
Oh, she's awful.
And Luke from Mortal Kombat.
Get old there.
Sure.
I don't give two shits if anyone says I love Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Mortal Kombat.
Do I?
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat is a great fun movie.
It's not good, but it's fun.
Mortal Kombat 2, not so much.
Oh,
No, Mortal Kombat Annihilation is... Actually, that brings up an interesting conversation to have. I was going to say, Mortal Kombat Annihilation may actually be the worst film I've ever seen.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Well, that's that.
It angered me. It fucking angered me.
It's really bad.
Watch Top Cat.
No! As I said, worst film I've ever seen doesn't mean that there's a challenge involved.
I think he threw down the gauntlet there. I heard that, and I'm sure Andy heard that as well.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like you need to up your game a bit,
It's true. You aren't really trying hard enough, Ruffy, let's be honest. That's the worst film you've ever seen, you. You're in training wheels, son. Time to take you to school.
Well, the thing is, though, I can get quite a lot of pleasure out of terrible movies.
Then prove that and get poker at him.
I know.
I am not going to sit there and watch a theatrical release of a fucking Flash movie.
You said that you can find enjoyment from most terrible things.
Yeah, I've just given you the most terrible film I've ever seen and put a challenge at you, and you basically just says, no, Andy, I don't have the balls for that.
Fine,
I have.
fine, right, okay, the challenge is up there. I will go through Top Cat at some point, but I'll have to find some way that you're going to be involved in this.
Again, I'll just get weak and drunk.
We'll find some way of doing it so you have to be sober throughout.
I've seen it once. I'm prepared.
Mr. Nolan, what would you say is the worst film you've ever seen?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of bad. I usually try and avoid bad movies. This movie is probably the one that got me the most angry in recent memory. So yeah, I'd probably say this. I usually ask ask friends' opinions on stuff, and then avoid movies based on their thoughts for some things.
Actually, I take it back. I know what the worst film I've ever seen is. Fucking Prometheus.
Oh, I like Prometheus because it shows up.
I was actively angry at that film. It made me feel stupid.
I still think the best scene in that movie is where the alien is taken out of a womb. That's so good.
No, I think the best scene is when Idris Elba goes, yeah, I'm going to tap Charlize Theron. Why? Because I'm Idris fucking Elba.
Fucking Luther, bitches!
Yep.
Why can't you Doctor Who?
On screen, this should be a bit of joy. The Coombs in the Stockwell.
Yep. Well, this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see these two guys tearing the scenery, probably giving it a good chew. Each of them coming with a knife and fork. But unfortunately, it's just dull.
Yeah.
And why does Dean Stockwell's handwriting look like calligraphy?
I love his beige pants.
They're good.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with a bit of Chino action.
No.
And how you know this film was made in the 2000s? Look at these skanks.
Yeah, this was the part I was meant for Andy, because I when this stuff happened, I just lost it. I had no idea what was going on. My head started throbbing from trying to figure out what's happening.
It just feels like somebody's turned up. It's like an art house director's thought, you know what? I'm going to direct me the next Psych Brazil video.
See, I thought to myself more Hercules or The Adventures of Xena.
No, there's no joy.
Oh, no, well, I just mean the way the scene's set up and, the cloth draping everywhere, the skanky women. And then floaty man, who's obviously on a little trolley or something.
Look at this fat fuck.
You're just jealous because you can float, isn't it?
I just wish at that point when he was doing that was because there was a noose round his neck and someone was hanging him.
Oh, that would be a good dark twist to the movie.
Do you not just think at the moment Dean Coombs just looks like a homeless knockoff version of the Shadow? Who knows what evil lurks by the heart of man.
knows. Well, that would be the best superhero ever, the Box Dweller.
And it's great how he basically says, I'm here to take a book from the professor's collection. And Star was like, yeah, when you go. It's like, no. It's like, it's his private collection. Jog on, you ball bag. I like how he finds out his book by doing that, rather than, perhaps you should inspect the catwalk.
Do you think he was trying desperately to be one of the gentlemen from Dark City? But retarded.
Severely.
I thought retarded.
Oh, would it be the book that has all the light attached to it?
No, that's it. It'd be good.
And it's on the table all on its own.
I always think it's great when they're able to find the pages so quickly, because when I look through a book, I never find the thing straight off the bat. Nope, not that page. That's Paul.
That's where you turn the corner. I have another question for you to do with horror films.
Who?
For both of you.
Oh, okay.
Zombie movies.
Mm.
Because I just got thinking about zombie movies there. Are zombie movies a done thing? We've said there that at this point, found film footage needs to go away. What about zombie films?
I think zombies in general need a break because they're in so many video games at the moment. They're everywhere.
It's a case of, unless Romero's coming out with a new one, I could give 3/5 of a flying fuck about a zombie film. Just because it's a case of, aside from a few notable exceptions, 28 Days Later being one of them, most zombie films are balls.
Yes. Dead Meat, however, is fantastic because it has a zombie cow.
What about Black Sheep?
No, it was more werewolves than zombies.
Yeah, alright, I'll give you that.
I do like the exchange here, the two meeting of minds. I'm in the Black Brotherhood. You'll help me. And it's just basically, even I could tell that he's not going to help you. He's setting you up well, but Morgan's just like, okay.
So you're going to help me, yeah? Yeah.
Of course I am. Don't worry about it.
You're going to help me. Because we're friends. We're friends now. I like my friends.
Okay, shit wiggle there.
The reason I ask about zombie films is I was thinking about this the other day, and I came to the conclusion that the only thing that would interest me now in the entire genre of zombie films is if they removed the infection idea and we got back to a zombie master.
A zombie master?
Like Voodoo.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. I want to see something akin to White Zombie again.
White Zombie?
Yep. Bela Lugosi and his amazing head.
Yeah. I don't think we'll get that for quite a few years, just obviously with, I think, well, he has enough problems anyway without people sort of sent there en masse to remake that, and...
Well, it doesn't have to be a remake of White Zombie. I just want to see a zombie master.
Yeah, but it would have to be based on, as we know them from Voodoo, so it's unavoidable. It would have to be, oh, get to fuck you, fat stubble. See, I
think it's a bit harder for people to accept magic bringing zombies back, and it's much more acceptable for them to put a logical spin on it and say, oh, virus, yeah, that could happen. And I think that's what scares people more than just having a voodoo guy who has magic.
Completely. The entire reason.
I'd like to see the voodoo stuff, though.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because it'd be different.
Yeah. And you could also, it doesn't have to be magic, you can explain it with science.
Science magic.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. But the reason that zombies do so well is because everyone's scared of infection, everyone's scared of disease. And zombies in cinema nowadays are that disease given a face, given a form. Yeah, it's no longer little microbes, it's something big and it's got 2 arms, 2 legs, it looks just like you and it's coming for you.
Do a Nurgle film?
Oh, just give me a bloody 40k movie. Come on.
Yeah.
A proper one too, a good one.
Honest not shit. I'd like to see this.
So
I'd like to see this fat guy played as Brian Blessed. That made this movie good.
I don't think you could put in such a lethargic performance.
Oh no, I wouldn't want him to.
I do like how his eyebrows join up with his sideburns. So that's the only moment of joy he's brought. But it's like, he just looks like a really fat, wasted version of Alex Sector from Mask. That's what happened after Matt Tracker disbanded them.
I'm trying to think what the guy's name is. There was a stand-up comedian from Boston, sort of in the 80s and early 90s. I want to say it was Mike McVeigh, but I'm not sure if that's the right name.
Mike McShane.
Michael McShane. I would like to see him in this role, because at least then there'd be something interesting to watch.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the only thing I can remember about him outside of being in Whose Lines It Anyway now is a sitcom he did with Sandy Toksvig.
Mm. Oh, did you not see when they did Channel 4, he did the Damon Runyon stories, and he just narrated them in the first person, reading out the Runyon stuff?
No!
It was really good. Worth checking out.
I'll definitely give that a shot, because the guy had a great voice.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic voice.
And of course, remember he was Friar Tuck in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yes, he was. Of course he was. There's a film that I enjoy watching. It's not good.
Oh, it's not. It's check your brains at the door time, but it's still fun.
Wish I was watching that film now.
It's true.
It's a hell of a lot better than the Russell Crowe version.
Don't look at me typing on my phone. Don't look.
Now I can't help but draw comparisons to Mouth of Madness now. They're both in a car, and yet we're bored.
Yeah. I love the constant light source on them as well. Pretty good.
They're driving around with the light on.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
Or they're driving behind someone shining a spotlight in front of them.
I can't see where the fuck I'm going. What is this dickhead doing?
And to make it creepy, they put a slight green tinge to it, or tint to it, just to, to make it not look like a big-ass bright white light.
Well, I think that's got something to do with being creepy and more the fact it was made in 2009.
It's also how there's absolutely nothing that you can see out the back of the car either. Although, when we're close in, we can see vague hints of what's outside on that rather nice projection screen. Look at that random sign.
Yay for the sign. I wonder what the sign said. That is now all important.
Abandonable ball quick here. Oh, this way to the end credits and salvation.
God, this would be awful if it was a choose-your-own movie adventure.
If you wish to continue a tedious conversation in the car with the annoying bitch at the side of you, go to page 246.
If you want to end the conversation and pull a gun, turn to page 0 and start the book again.
You don't get such delights.
You can either start again or you can keep going. Those are your options.
Oh. No, thank you.
I do like the coat Jeffrey's got going. That's a pretty nice coat.
Good coat and hat. The combo is nice. It's just unfortunate that... Yeah, it's just unfortunate.
Do you think anybody realised that there was something weird going on at this house with the green lights in the windows?
No, they just thought it was the party brothel.
Ah, okay.
It's like, fuck's sake, another Green Lantern movie.
Oh god, now there's another one to go down on one of the worst films I've ever seen.
I don't actually mind Green Lantern. I'm with Mr. Wallace on this.
To be honest with you, the only reason it's not there is because I didn't finish it.
Not the worst movie I've ever seen, but really bad. Real bad.
Not good at all.
No.
No, I didn't mind it. Could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hate it. He had the hatred that people are good. Me and Dave were the defenders of Green Lantern.
Now, speaking of Dave, have you seen Superman yet?
Yeah.
And?
2/3 of a really good Superman film, and 1/3 of a film that forgets that the whole point of the character is that he is meant to care about everybody, other than allowing hundreds of thousands to die. And also, if he's strong enough to snap Zod's neck and kill him, how about strong enough to snap Zod's neck and paralyze him?
Oh. I like that thought.
That was pretty much my screaming thought when I went in, but other than that, let's say, I quite like Russell Crowe at the start as Jor-El. Fucking shit up was good.
Is it because he's Russell Crowe and he likes to fight?
Yeah. Shannon was good as Zod. Big Larry Fishburne could have been anybody's Pennywise.
Well, that's a shame to hear.
Yeah. But it was just, first 2/3 were quite good, I enjoyed it. Good soundtrack as well.
Was it a Hans Zimmer soundtrack again?
Yep.
Ah, good.
Would you agree it's a bit too long? Because I hear a lot of people say that.
Yeah, just the minute it gets to about the final third in the fight, it's just like, no, you've missed the point. Superman wouldn't, or you could get away with one of the fights having innocents being hurt, and then he realises, I've got to be Superman and do better than this. But, nah.
If I am yet to see it, I will get to it at some point. The entire thing has been spoiled for us at this point, so I'm not too fussed.
Yeah, same.
But I shall get to it. What story, Mr. Turnbull, would you say is your ideal Lovecraft story to get turned into a film?
I would really like someone to have the balls to try and do the colour out of space, but how to convey an alien colour would be...
Ooh.
That would have some chops. Let me consult. Have a look and see.
A similar question to you, Mr. Millman.
I don't read books.
What story that you've come across so far would you like to see done as a big Hollywood blockbuster? I say big, you know what I mean? Because if it's a big Hollywood blockbuster, it'd be shit. But
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. It's hard to
a film with a budget.
do it. It's hard to do the Lovecraft stuff. So, I don't know. It'd be interesting to. Oh god, that was a terrible jump scare.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see them attempt to do Cthulhu, like a proper one, without boys masturbating under a bridge. That is a movie. I'm not making that shit up.
No, you're not kidding in the slightest.
I think The Rats on the Walls is an obvious one that should have been done properly.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that, definitely. Oh, man. For myself, I've got the same answer that I always have. Mountains of Madness. Please,
Yeah.
just give me Mountains of Madness.
I didn't say Mountains of Madness on the basis that we're theoretically getting that from Del Toro, aren't we?
In theory, yeah. Apparently, it's back on the books again.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me it was off the books again.
No. It's partly back on the books. I think a lot of that is going to sit on how well Pacific Rim does.
That's what I was going to say. If Pacific Rim does the business, then you'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
But no, The Rats on the Walls is an obvious one to kind of do, just because it wouldn't be too expensive to do.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of it would actually work.
Well, you'd need somebody who understands the nature of filmmaking.
Yes.
You couldn't give it to, put it this way, I wouldn't want to see Michael Bay's production studio having to go with it.
That would be impressive.
Granted, they actually have made a single film that I've enjoyed.
It was.
Lost Dunes, is it that the production company's called?
Dunes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Amityville horror remake.
With Ryan Reynolds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I actually enjoyed that.
A decent remake of a version of From Beyond that didn't involve unnecessary sexual content would also be a good one to do.
Hang on, it's unnecessary sexual content? What could you possibly mean?
Oh, we've got Barbara Crampton in the film. Let's get us drugs out.
Aye.
I'm not saying that they're bad or anything, but it's more just doing a more faithful remake of that. And to be honest, for 3D horror, you could actually get it to work, because 3D's always been best for horror and for gimmicks.
Yeah.
From Beyond's just screaming out for someone to do that. Congratulations, Tillinghast turns on the generator thing. Oh, look. And again, because it's 3D and people's eyes adjust, you just do it at the points when that's on. And it works. Oh, look, it's Ahmed the Eye, just get these headaches.
Is he writing his book of humorous cat stories?
God bless you, Terry Blatchett.
Oh, dear.
I don't think he's playing battleships with anybody else.
Are you sure there's no guarantee? Hangman? Maybe he's playing Hangman. I love all the nervous looks he gives around. It's like, oh shit, I hope my mum doesn't walk in and find me writing the Necronomicon again. So what it looks like, Mum. Wasn't touching myself. Oh, pixels. Oh, it's like he was sand.
I can't help but look at him now and just think that he's writing a book of humorous cat stories. Does this mean they're about to go through L-space?
They really are taking this quite well, aren't they? Not a huge amount of questions.
Just like to edit this and just change it so when you look through it's the grid from Tron Legacy. Jet Bridges just start speaking to them.
Oh, that'd be good.
I found a way in. Did anyone ever see the one of the Exorcist prequels that was all set in Egypt?
No. Which one of the two that they made?
Yeah, I can't remember which one
It's
called. Is it Exorcist the Beginning? That was set in Egypt.
Is it the Rennie Harlan one or the other one?
The other one.
No, I've only seen the Rennie Harlan one. one Exorcist prequel was enough. But then I really don't think The Exorcist is actually all that scary a film.
No, I remember going to see it at the pictures when it got the re-release.
We were too late. We were too late for it. Had we seen it at the time, it would have put the release right up us. But things moved on. I can appreciate it's a well-made film.
Oh yeah.
But the making of documentary, it was on BBC Two, was actually much more interesting than that Mark Hamill did. It was fantastic because it's his favourite film. But the bits, some of the things that they did, like when you had the door slam and you hear Karras and he looks and he is actually frightened, the director just goes up beside his head and fires a shotgun.
Jesus.
To get that look.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
That's how you do it.
Oh, look, he's
Oh.
Fuck is going on?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, skeleton. I do like that. I do like the gunk on the really awful...
It just looks like the slime pit from He-Man, the top.
Yes. Yeah, with the skeleton that you got in like a local Halloween show.
I was actually thinking it's just Noel Edmonds has lost the plot and this is the new Noel's house party. The gunk is in fact acidic nowadays.
Was that Mr. Blobby?
Oh God.
Mr. Blobby could be Yogg-Sothoth.
Mr. Blobby can go.
Yogg-Sothoth.
So, I could have lived the rest of my life without being reminded of Mr. Blobby.
He had a number one.
True.
He did.
It was a big hit when I was a kid.
Why would you remind me of that?
Is he Mr. Blobby? Mr. Blobby?
Mr. Blobby, Mr. Blobby.
He was a fucking nightmare.
I never understood what the point of Mr. Blobby was.
I'd die because he couldn't have he didn't really appeal to me as a kid because he just looked creepy as shit. Oh, the editing.
So, I wonder how long till we found out he's a paedophile.
Or Mr. Blobby.
Yeah.
I see more as he assaulted Noel Edmonds more than anything else. That's why he was allowed to be kept on the show. Did you say not enough?
Yeah. Creepy, bearded, little midgety bastard. Fuck off with your deal or no deal. It's a show about a box. None of these people like each other. Enough of this fucking lying bullshit.
Why, oh why, is it blue screened room? It's like watching Sanctuary again.
God damn.
It's more the fact that it's when they were doing the effect and you saw the walls, like that looks like a render with a skin over it rather than, an actual proper texture.
Yep. They've just taken a room out of Quake.
I was going to say Doom actually, but yeah, pretty much. Well, look, we've got CGI flames and gone. Look, just so shit. You could have done worse if you just put a lighter in front of something like a bed.
To be honest with you, I think that's exactly what they're doing. They've just got a lighter and they're moving it around.
No, flame looks slightly better than that, even with a lighter.
I do miss the days where they just got a giant rubber lobster and just waved it at the camera.
Yeah. Or stock footage.
Yeah.
Stock footage. Fuck off, you fat bearded cunt.
It was all a dream.
Considering the fact
that is loving it though in the real world.
She is.
Okay, so why are you also both sharing the same dream then?
Yeah,
because it's crazy.
Because Beatty gave you a special drug, right?
Because that's the thing. He's supposed to be this hyper rational. At this point, he's like, but this is weird. How can we be? The thing is, if only been 2 years later, either 2 years later or 10 years earlier they made this, he'd been trying to pull off some kind of virtual reality helmet, just like in Red Dwarf.
Oh god, it comes to something when Red Dwarf is still probably the best version of that. So if it's a virtual reality idea.
They call me the Riviera Key.
Well, it's just that when they did it again later on in life, when they conquered it again.
What house have you been in that wallpaper comes off that easy with your fingers? I've steam stripped the fucking entire house. It was a motherfucker to do.
How long did it take?
The stairwell took an entire night to do. And the house was like a sauna. And it also ruined about £5,000 worth of comics that were in a cupboard at the time.
Oh.
But Fleetway G2 survived intact.
Good man.
Boobs.
Yeah.
That's the best response when someone mentions Fleetway G2 comics. Boobs.
Oh, well, they appear on screen, you know.
When you've got a choice of Marvel UK, or Fleetway Generation 2 comics or boobs, it's a hard choice.
And I have both. I should choose.
You can tell that some of the girls here either were paid more or just had way less scruples than the other ones.
Yeah.
Well, they were probably just people who were trying to break into the industry. But it is an interesting fact for you. Did you know when you see half-naked women on TV, chances are they're not strippers? Because it costs too much to get strippers.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing that.
When I found that out, that blew my mind.
Strippers are too much money.
It'd make more money, so it's just, get a wannabe actress that wants to climb the Gacy pole.
Mm-hmm. Just look at, what's her name that married him out of Oasis, which is possibly the worst way of describing somebody ever.
Remember, Oasis, I'm assuming you're referring to one of two brothers. Both have had multiple wives.
I'm sure it was Noel Gallagher.
Meg.
No.
Matthews.
No, the other one. Was in Emmerdale for a little bit.
Patsy Kensit.
That's the one. If you look at her couple of films to start with, she added them out in every single film.
Yep. She had a pop career all of her own. Remember Eighth Wonder?
Yes, how could I forget? No, really, how could I forget? How could I forget this? Please tell me.
Alcohol. Concussions.
There is a large whiskey next to me. I will go down it.
I'm not.
I will just start downing it. I don't mind. I don't care. I'll just get drunk.
Fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Well, this is why the conversation's going all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of did this a little bit in Necronomicon, but I think we stayed even more on topic on there than we have done tonight.
Yes.
There was a couple of installments that were worth the time, and of course, Bruce Payne from Passenger 57, of course, big highlight.
Yep.
Well, actually, there's a good thing. As we never really, as that episode will never see the light of day, what were your thoughts on Necronomicon?
I really liked that the Lincoln narration was quite good, bringing Jeffrey in a slightly better makeup job as HPL, positing that the Necronomicon was real, and he was sort of stealing stories from it so he could warn the outside world. The one at the end with, was it supposed to be Coolio?
Yes. No, Coolio was the middle one.
The middle one.
It was Whispers in the Dark it was meant to be at the end, but wasn't.
Was it?
Yeah. The one at the end is actually meant to be Whispers in the Dark.
The one with the bone marrow drinkers. Fuck off, really?
Seriously.
Jeez, that was hilarious, that one. That brought great joy because it was just so inept and awful. It condensed all the awfulness of this film into a third of the time.
And thus it wins.
Yes. I mean, look at it. It's like, okay, so this is your big unknowable alien creature. And it's got tentacles and something that looks like a really bad hack job of the xenomorph from Alien.
Mm-hmm.
A bit more teeth. Fuck right off. And how's she suddenly back in it? Heard it was freed from possession.
I'm pretty sure she didn't she say she felt that they needed help or something as washy as that?
In all fairness, if that had happened fairly recently, which is what you're meant to know, she's banged up in a fucking loony ward. She could feel all the fuck she wants. She'll feel nothing through the Thorazine and fucking straitjacket that are current. Really hate shitly constructed films. It's not difficult to go through and have someone turn around and go, that's a bad idea. That doesn't explain anything. Fix it. And you're not typing on that keyboard either. I hate Phyllis type it. Never looks right.
Did you just throw something across the room?
No, I'm knocked. My knee hit my desk and I've knocked down Time Badger.
Time Badger?
Yes, I have a little resin toy called Time Badger.
Okay.
He's a little badger with a hat, and you can try it on time. He's called Time Badger. I kid you not, that's what it's called. It's Time Badger.
I'm fascinated by what's on your desk.
Is it something that you've named, or is it something that actually just was named Time Badger?
It is named Time Badger.
Okay.
Designed by a friend of mine. I shall go and get you a link just so you can get some joy.
What type of hat is it?
It's a little sort of resin thing, so let me just go and get it. Should be, and it is search for.
I've suddenly become incredibly fascinated by the idea of a time badger.
It sounds very Gruffian in nature.
I'd mind a time badger.
Could you make? Have they done a badger for Beast Saga stuff?
I think so.
I hope so.
Because wouldn't that be the most dangerous creature ever?
No. If it was a mantis shrimp.
What if it was a honey badger, though?
Oh, shit, dude. A honey badger mantis shrimp.
Oh, yeah, I've said this before, like, what if we genetically cross the two together? Oh, that's pretty awesome. Time badger.
He's an office worker who was cursed by a magical otter and now travels in time whenever he sneezes. That's brilliant! Yeah. I must know this! Thank you for showing me this.
Well, Time Badger is amazing. He sits atop Masterpiece Optimus Prime's trailer.
Wow.
I'd have even done a carry from Hackslash.
Well, the film's still going.
Well done for sort of having the seatbelts on. Good bit of responsibility there. I'm liking that.
We didn't ask you, Mr. Millman. What were your feelings on Necronomicon?
I liked parts of it. I liked how creepy and disturbed the last story made me feel, because I really didn't like the idea of creatures drinking my bone marrow through straws. I felt that was really creepy and disturbing, but the actual thing itself wasn't too good until that point.
No.
The first one I preferred the best. The David Warner one didn't do a huge amount for me.
David Warner, he doesn't just do science fiction, you know.
That's true. He does Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too.
Yeah.
Which is maybe science fiction.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm fairly sure that gets classified as science fiction.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like Annie said, the whole Jeffrey Combs tying together was probably the best
Agreed.
part of that thing.
Agreed.
And even the end, which got kind of weird, with the monk pushing his head through the bars, and I don't even know what that was at that point. But it was fun. It was entertaining, and the makeup job on Jeffrey was amazing.
It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so I didn't mind it. It's not the best, but it's worth it. It's a Sunday movie, a Sunday dinner time movie.
Anthology films are always going to be like that. They're a mixed bag by their very nature. It's very rare that one of them, more than one, will really appeal to you. Even though, because I'm a big fan of all the sort of the Amicus, EC sort of portmanteau ones, but you'll generally find there's always one story in it that's head and shoulders above the rest, and your mileage on the others varies depending.
And it's usually some version of the monkey's paw.
Or the butler did it. Well, this is the only brief moment his performance changes. Stockwell actually tries to emote.
To a point, of course.
And it's fading already, look. The memory fades, and with my ability to show depth and range.
Well, so there, like, these three fresh people have just seen a lady with a huge chunk of her head missing, and they've taken it fairly well.
It's true.
Especially the young girl who will never have seen a dead body before.
So, from a character point of view, what does this film do wrong?
There's character.
Good answer.
Well, in all fairness, our plucky hero, the young Russell Crowe, his character he's the only one that gets any character progression, and it works. Because it is just like, okay, you're a skeptic, here's how we prove you wrong. So that kind of works. There's nothing wrong with his bit until he puts his cloak on in a bit. When he gets his cloak on, that's where it goes wrong. Oh, just because he looks so camp. But Stockwell's one note the entire way through.
Mm-hmm.
And even this bit, it's just meh.
Well, I think you sum up the film quite nicely there. It's just meh. I was hoping to hear some proper rage out of Mr. Millman here, but it's such a damp squib of a movie that it's impossible to get angry at it.
I mean, I've said my piece on the editing. The editing is still giving me a headache through watching this again. Fade to black, fade out, raise and lower the opacity again and again and again and again and again. It's just dreadful. And the curtain between people giving exposition is painful.
The exposition itself is painful, I would have said.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just, yes.
If you want
We're
to get
getting up to one of the best bits coming up right now, I'm guessing, really, aren't we?
Yeah. I would actually say that if you want a decent version of the Dunwich Horror, IDW did a very good version of it last year, I think it was.
Yes.
Well, that I would highly recommend. Oh, he's looking at you.
See, that bit there is when he looks up, and he looks like he's... That bit, when I first saw it, goes, oh, he's gone evil.
Yeah.
And it's like, then act on it, or get it reshot so he looks normally. And oh, look, it's a big evil purple cloud.
It's Galactus?
I was going to say it's a big acid cloud. Superman should be there to save the day.
Oh, dear.
Or Captain Kirk. If it's a sentient cloud of energy, that's 60 Star Trek. Kirk could fuck it up.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were suggesting Generations Star Trek, as in the movie Generations.
No, classic. No, classic 60s Star.
He's going to have to punch it. He's going to punch that cloud till it stops moving. Then he'll probably make out with it.
I've got my cloak on.
You can tell someone's mum made that cloak.
Yeah. So you want to be an occultist, do you? Will you wrap up warm with your cloak?
All I've got through my head now is, you're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
You're a wizard.
You're a cultist, Harry.
You're a cultist, Harry. You'll get a fucking bat, and it'll bring you your shitey mail.
You'll have a god called Cthulhu, and he'll eat you first. And you'll fucking like it.
Does anybody here have an Android phone? Or a iOS phone?
Oh, you know the phone I have.
That's true. There's a really good free app called Cultist. And it's a game and watch game where you've got to feed the virgins to Cthulhu before he gets you. I recommend people play it. It's rather good. Unlike this film.
I can believe that.
The Silver Surfer. Won't he come to save us?
What's quite funny is, when I watched this for the first time to get ready for this, I realised I'd actually seen this sequence before. I had watched the end of this film at some point.
Really?
Yeah.
Or just randomly on TV?
I think so. Just randomly on, like, one of the horror channels or something. To be fair, I don't think the monster looks too bad there.
I disagree. I think it looks bad in terms of it's an unimaginative shit design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you don't get a decent look at it. Well, now you do.
You do.
Yes.
Yeah, now you do. Oh, well.
It's like, your theory is fucked up. H.R. Giga, you are not.
But yeah, come on. At times, Giga is sometimes not Giga. Some of the stuff he's pulled out over the years seems to be a little bit too much of trying desperately to re-hit former glories.
Yeah.
Doesn't help this, though.
He's at least hit glories, though.
Well, this is true. There's a wonderful bit of footage that hit the internet not too long back. Yes, it is.
Look at that sky vagina.
And it's the it's the guy in the alien suit doing all the test walks and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
All I can think of now is To Cast a Deadly Spell did all this so much better. And that was a parody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, rub the young girl with your tentacles. Did you notice it went right over a boob as well? It's like the Hicks raised it right. You're going to treat women like pieces of meat. You're going to make sexual moves towards them and then eat them. It's impressive as well that he can hold a lady against a giant Cthulhu-esque monster or eldritch monster. Because you remember what happened when they tried to do something similar to that in Dagon?
Yep.
France.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
Oh, see that bit with his glowing eyes? They just put me in mind of the keep.
Oh, man.
As Molars are.
Oh, God. Weirdly, we were talking about the keep of the All Arcade last night.
Oh, I go up to that point, yeah.
Very strange. Why is the house digitised?
They couldn't afford to break a house up.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's coming off in cubes. It's coming apart in cubes.
Yeah, because it will have been pre-cut into specific parts.
And they make a film. So it'll probably be better than this.
Probably. I'd fucking hope so. Jesus, I love the confidence there. It'll probably be better than this. Thanks, bro.
Oh, how many films?
Well, we don't know who you're going to get to act in it. You'll probably make it so it's better edited and directed. But if you hire swamp donkeys for your film, you've still got to get a third.
Oh, well, I haven't heard the term swamp donkeys in years.
Oh, we'll get the finest swamp donkeys around. It's a very H.P. Lovecraft end as well, isn't it? Being all happy.
Well, why has he got a 1970s jacket as well?
I love how she's, as she's become his girlfriend, she's just decided to dress a bit more slutty, showing the guns a bit more.
That's how it works, isn't it? Defeat evil or horror, show off the cleavage.
It's how I've always done it.
Yes.
Well, to be fair, though, the story itself had a very un-Lovecraftian ending they defeated the monster.
Totally.
By burning it in a barn. And, there is a happy ending. The hero does win.
Oh, in the actual thing?
Yeah, but technically not, because all it basically says is you've won this time, but inevitably it's going to happen.
Yes.
It's the inevitable.
Yes.
So Lovecraft has his cake and eats it.
Yes, very much so. At the end of the day, it's the Whately's long-term plan that's still going.
Yeah.
How's that still going?
It's going to try again.
Because he's only forestall at this time, so unless someone else knows all the incantations and can do it all when he goes next time round, Yogg-Sothoth author will be able to hold the gate open and let the great old ones through.
And there you go.
Oh, thank God.
That's the end of it.
Ah, mercy.
That was possibly the worst of the... Well, it's not possibly. That is the worst of the films that we've come across in this series of movies.
Oh, no, shadow of a doubt. Jesus, yeah.
And it probably is the worst one that we'll see, in all honesty. Because the only one I can think of that's worse is Cthulhu Mansion, and I don't see us ever doing that. Not just because it's awful, but because the links to the Lovecraft mythos are so tenuous at best. And this is a film where Cthulhu is, in fact, the right hand of Satan.
What?
Yep.
No.
So...
How is he the right hand of Satan?
Because it's a film made by people who haven't got a fucking clue.
Oh, Jesus.
So give us your final thoughts on the movie, then.
It's finished.
Yeah. That's a pretty damn good answer.
Because I honestly don't think there's anything we can talk about on this. It was just awful. But I do think we got a fair bit of interesting conversation going about other films.
Ish.
So I'm happy enough with that.
Really?
So I think with that we'll just say, number one, Mr. Millman, where can people find you on the internet if they so choose to find you?
You can find me on Twitter at CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW, on a podcast called The Moonbase 2 and Master Prime Theatre, which is on FullMetalHero.com, or you can find us just through iTunes as well.
And Mr. Turnbull, where can they find you?
You can grab me on Twitter at Andrew D. Turnbull. Obviously, the Stardub website is star-dub.com, which hosts the Stardub podcast, as well as the Eternal comic strip, the Daily Praxis.
I was so happy when you hit Oz. So very happy.
Well, we kind of talked about this on the podcast that will never air, and that was the one thing, so long as I could manage to get some of the references in, but I've been trying like a bear. And thankfully, the generic guard from Bob Budiansky's run, it's like, we'll use you for everybody. It's like, yep, so I could get an Adabisi reference in there. And of course, Spoonie. God bless you, Wolfgang Cutler.
Probably the only time that's ever been said.
It's true. So you can find me there also, and I'll take the opportunity now to do a little bit of a shameless whoring. Auto Assembly will be coming up very, very shortly. And for those in the know, I'm involved in the committee, but also I'm involved with Toy Fu. Woo! Young Nick Davidson, whereby you may buy lots of old Transformers at very reasonable prices, and all of the money that you pay to us goes to charity. In this case, it's to Mary's Meals. Very good charity, providing meals for children in the developing world at school. So encourages them to go to school, because for some of these families, it's the only decent meal that the kids will get in a day.
Yeah.
So they learn, and it progresses there. So we will be, as I say, selling at Auto Assembly, and we have obviously encouraged anyone who wants to donate toys. Now, this is the bit where I sound unavoidably like a little bit of a dick, but I kind of have to. Because this is going for charity, we are selling quite good stuff, so it's not just about giving junkers and crap that you couldn't sell anywhere else. All donations would be gratefully accepted, and if you do want to hit any of us up about that, is hit me. I obviously my aforementioned Twitter handle, Ralph at *_dub, and we'll get back in touch with you and let you know how you can do that for us.
Good man.
And we do encourage anybody, if you do have some funds, please come along at Assembly and buy some stuff. There's generally lots of classic G1 at very, very good prices. For those that don't know, Nick managed to get, through the aid of Mr. Kiernan as well, who's one of the other people involved in it, 11 overlords at a table.
That's amazing.
And it broke Derek J. Wyatt's brain.
Jesus. I will say though, in fairness, Toy Fu is the table that usually sells out first, sells the fastest. Like, you usually have to hold stock back until, like, the Sunday, right, if I remember?
Yeah, there are times that we'll deliberately keep stuff back just because, well, otherwise it's not there. I know, and generally speaking, we'll always do some deals as well. And there is a Tat Roulette raffle as well, where you will be able to win some fabulous prizes. And in addition to the Tat, there is actually some very, very good prizes as well. I'm donating one of 225 prints for a Texas film festival showing of Transformers the movie. It's a big, massive poster print. It's very, very nice.
Oh, sweet.
Reason I'm donating it, it's just been sitting in its tube since I got it about a year ago, which means I'm never going to put it up on my wall or frame it. So I'd rather went to good home. So basically for folks that want to, say, come along, spend money, get plastic toys and do some good for the world at the same time. So that way, if you blow £500 on toys, it sounds so much better if you just said, I donated £500 to charity, and look what I got.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favourite things to do at AA is to hit up the Toy Food table, just to see. I mean, last year I got incredibly excited because there was a large amount of Rock Lords.
I'm not sure if we'll have as many this year, but I think Nick is on the move for some of them. But again, it's a case of, and also some more unusual ones. I think there'll be the usual complement of Roadbusters, Diamondbots, and Shockwaves. It's great they can say plural and you just let go. It costs me so much money as well, because you're just like, I want that.
Yeah. I've got myself a great big bag of stuff that I'm going to be handing over to you, which I hope will bring some joy.
Yes, it will indeed. And again, it's a case of all of it is for a good cause.
Oh,
and again,
completely.
And again, just to name check his friend of this podcast and several podcasts, Adam88M, who donated a whole Scorponok last year.
Yep.
So it's a case of, I'd like to thank anyone that has donated or has offered to donate as well, just because it's a case of, it's a great example of obviously a hobby, having we all enjoy it and have a good thing. It's the bit of perspective is at the end of the day, we are grown men, some of us in our mid-30s, obsessing about plastic toys from our childhood. So it's nice to do something a little bit more worthwhile for a good cause along with it.
Yeah, completely, not like.
Oh, I said it almost growing up there, didn't I?
Yeah.
Did, yeah. I thought you're throwing an odd gag right about now, just the way parents
usually do as well, Gruff.
It is, but I was there being sensible as well. No, I'm scared. I'm absolutely terrified. Before we hit this up then, there is something I need Mr. Turnbull to do.
Oh man. Oh, amazing.
In front of me there is a list with 5 names on it.
He cannot pick the Dunwich Horror again.
He can. There was another one made in the 70s.
Oh, that won't be as bad though.
No.
I've seen it, but I can't really remember it because a while ago. But if I'd hated it, I'd remember it. So there's how many numbers?
There's 5. Just pick me a number, please, sir.
Well, again, 4 will be fantastic.
Please pick again.
What was number 4?
The 70s Dunwich Horror.
Fucking hell.
You didn't even mix them up, did you? You just replaced it, didn't you? Oh, good as fuck.
I can't do it to you.
Okay, so I'll go with 2.
Number 2. Right, sir, you've actually picked the real Ghostbusters. So next time that we do this, we're actually going to be doing 2 real Ghostbusters episodes. The Collect Call of Cthulhu and Russian About. So that'll be a nice change. Something a bit different.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. That'll be pretty good. Right then, with that being said, we will see you next time. Bye everybody.
Peace. Farewell.
No, I have to go back to Dunwich. Okay. I should get moving. I'll miss my bus.